Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Awesome. Just waiting on you guys to jump from the live chat over to the live stream. What a great show, right? Man, I know that some of you have seen that. Thank you, Mr. E. Hello, Jake. I know some of you had seen that episode before, but of course we were able to throw some different things in there. Yeah, check out the shirt, Mr. E. So these are available right now until midnight, 20% off at the shop, and also Mid-South Coliseum shirts too. Doing great, Jake. Hey, hello, Wrestling with MMA. Thanks for hopping over here. Let's talk a little pro wrestling. 4th of July, big holiday weekend. Hey Jake, next week we've got a special feature on Artemisia Championship Wrestling. Bailey, hello! Hope you're doing well. I'm going to call you later. That was awesome. Thank you, Mr. E. I'm still lifting. I'm training at least twice a day, almost every single day. That's actually what I'm going to do immediately following this live stream. Yes, so this Jackie Fargo shirt, and there's other Jackie Fargo shirts along with Tojo Yamamoto and Mid-South Coliseum. They're all available right now, 20% off. It's grindcitydesigns.com/championship wrestling, and if you use the code SLAM20 at checkout, you get 20% off your entire purchase. And there's all sorts of stuff on there. Yes, Antonio, of course. The strut came from the fabulous Jackie Fargo himself. So what'd you guys think of Pork Chop Cash? If you like the Jackie Fargo shirt, you had to have enjoyed the Pork Chop Cash interview today. That was part 2. Next week is the 3rd and final part. He talks about getting started with Vince McMahon Sr. and leaving it all in the ring and just being 80 years old. And unfortunately, his tag team partners have passed away, and he's still here with us. Yes, Mr. E, we do have on Monday's podcast presented by BeFreeCBD.com, Anthony Idol is going to be my guest. And I've got all of your questions from the live chat, and I'll make sure that I ask him those. We've got about a 10-minute segment that we're going to do, and I think you guys are really going to like it. So Anthony Idol, he's going to join us on Monday. And then next Saturday, he is in the main event, the PP3 Cup Finals. Some of you have seen that, but those of you who haven't, I'm not going to spoil it. It is one of the most unique finishers of wrestling, of a wrestling match that I've ever seen. And I can't say that very often because I've watched for so long. Anthony Idol will be good on the pod. Hey, thanks, Jake. We appreciate that, man. We're happy that you guys are enjoying what we're doing. Pork Chop Cash Part 3 next week. So then also you'll be able to view 1 through 3 all together as one right here on YouTube at CW30 Wrestling. Yes, Mr. E, Dan Joseph is so fun. Like, literally, I called the guy. I feel like I've known him forever, and I've only met him in person probably twice and spoken to him a handful of times. But when you work so closely together on the same show, you feel like you know those guys, and they feel like they know you. So it was like, hey, champ, what's up? And then we just talked. And Dan Joseph loves to talk, so it was a great interview. Hey, Greg, welcome, man. My grandfather was a huge fan of the Bruise Brothers. Yeah, so very cool. I know I've told you guys this, but just in case, Pork Chop Cash was honored at AEW Dynamite just outside of Memphis here just a couple of months ago, actually, when we had Cody and Brandy on the show. But he was there and he was honored, and guys were asking him about Mad Dog and Dream Machine. And gosh, Dream Machine is one of those guys that was taken from us so early on. And I've actually talked to guys like Dr. Tom Pritchard, and he said if he had to name one guy that should have made it further that for some reason didn't, he mentioned Dream Machine. So lots of great stories there with the Bruise Brothers. Greg says Clearwater is a future superstar. Yes, I think I had that conversation with Clearwater. He's very young, which is good. He's very tall, which is good. And if he can get in the gym and put on a little bit of size, I think he's going to be unstoppable. I mean, he's so young. Great match today from him and Zicky Dice. And hopefully the NWA will catch a glimpse of that and see that he went toe-to-toe with the NWA champion. Win or lose, whatever, but he went toe-to-toe with the champ. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate the shares, man. Antonio says, Maria coming for that grizzly weight belt. Pork Chop Cash went to school with my dad, Louis Banks, in Louisiana. Awesome, man. Very small world. Small world. I know somebody in the chat was saying, I think it was Reginald, that said that he could listen to Pork Chop Cash talk about, you know, how it was to be a black man going through the wrestling business all those years. But we did. We talked about it, and his whole thing was that he needed to outwork everybody. And so he told the story about being on the first match. And said, first match? All right. You're going to regret that. And then the promoter's like, man, like you did so well the first match, it's really hard to follow anything after that. So he just said that right now it's entertainment, and back then you had to fight and you had to work for everything you got. So very cool catching up with him on that. Yeah, Maria, the Grizzly Weight World Champion, you know how she likes gold, right? I think Clearwater is going to have a great career as well. All right, well, guys, happy 4th of July. Just wanted to talk a little bit of pro wrestling with you. As I've said, Anthony Idol is going to be on the podcast on Monday. I've got your questions. If you have any other questions, or if you're watching this later, put them in the comments. I'll try to include as many of them as I can. Then next Saturday, of course, it's going to be Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. It's going to be Ray Rosas versus Anthony Idol. But then also, this is pretty cool for some of you who have followed myself and my Maria for a while, or been following the show since its debut over a year ago. Next week, we're going to have an announcement to make. So you have to tune in for that. That's all I'm allowed to say. Bailey. I'm going to call you here in just a second, Bailey. Huge announcement, Lamb, next week. Yes. If you guys have any other questions, I'll answer those. If not, let's go barbecue or something. I recommend Tops. Ooh, the ribs, man. Unfortunately, there's not a big 4th of July to do this year in the middle of a pandemic. Between ribbing and the road and politics, the old talent has it much different than can be. Much respect. Memphis had the unscripted promos. You know, let's talk about that for just a second, Antonio. Unscripted promos. Scripting is important for a television show. Now, does that mean here's 3 paragraphs, you need to memorize all this right now? No. No. So back in the Memphis days, it probably had on the format Jerry Lawler interview and how long. And if there were any bullet points, they would let him know this is what we're trying to get over. And then he'd go and put it into his own words. So that's really the difference in today and yesteryear about how guys get themselves over in their promos. But I hate to say that anything is unscripted, because it's a television show. It all is. Yes, Mr. E. Okay, so TV tapings begin very, very soon, and I will tell you that David Marquez is not only going to follow the CDC guidelines, but he is going to go above and beyond those. I do believe that every single person that's going to be in that building, which won't be fans, all the staff members, they do have to be tested, and everyone will be required to wear masks. WWE has recently done the same thing. I think they're fining guys $500 for every time they do not have their mask on. So yes, tapings will begin soon. New footage will be available at the beginning of August. And not only will you see some of those stories continue that we've been watching, but you're going to see things shaken up just a little bit. It's going to be pretty cool. Very cool stuff. Heather Monroe skipped out on her match day against Lacey. Yeah, I did not like that. I don't think that's a stipulation. Houston Body put in a substitute. But don't worry, in just a couple of weeks, Heather Monroe will be back on the show, in one of the wildest matches that we've ever seen. A lot of you will remember that one. What do you think about Zicky Dice streaming on Twitch? Jake, Zicky Dice is fantastic on Twitch. Not only is the guy hilarious and he's a little crude, but all his stuff looks so professional. It looks like you're watching a real TV show when you watch Zicky Dice on Twitch. So big shout out to Zicky, man. And also Zicky is a fan of Artemisia Championship Wrestling from my friend Ryan Barber. And so during one of our private chats where a group of the roster is on a private group chat or whatever, Zicky recorded some of Artemisia Championship Wrestling and sent it to the group. And I said, oh man, that's my buddy. So Zicky and Ryan have kind of interacted and stuff on Twitch as well. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, go to twitch.tv/RhinoJB. And you got to check out the online wrestling league. It's Artemisia Championship Wrestling. It's very, very cool. But those streams are awesome, Jake. What's up, Dreadhead Kev? Yeah, man, I got the hair going on. And for those of you wondering, the back has grown in, okay? So it's not bald in the back anymore. I had that question the other day. Bailey, hair always on point. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Dreadhead Kev. That is the 5-star photographer. A lot of the shots that you see that are locally here in Memphis are Dreadhead Kev in studio. Justin Cottrell has been taking a lot of the shots that you see of the in-ring action with Championship Wrestling. And then also Huerto, I'm going to mispronounce him. I call him hbomb.jpg. He's very, very good too. You see a lot of his stuff on our feed as well. Did you watch his What Is in the Fanny Pack? No, I did not. I got to check that. Link. Send me a link to it, Lamb. I will watch Zicky Dice anything. Yeah, he's definitely an affiliate, and I would expect to see bigger things from Zicky Dice too. Dread, I miss being at TV too, man, at the studios. So we're not quite back in action at the studio just yet, but it is coming very, very soon. Good questions here, guys. Zicky is doing more in the ring than before, more than he does in NWA. Greg, I think what we're seeing is Zicky is getting better the more experience he gets. So, you know, he might have been like an outlandish promo guy for a while, but now he's actually very, very good in the ring. And I'm not saying he wasn't before. I'm just saying that experience of working television on the level of Championship Wrestling and the level of NWA and on pay-per-view and all that stuff, Fight TV, he's getting much, much better in the ring. And that's a recipe for big money for old Zicky Dice. Yeah, Dreadhead was featured in the bloopers. He is most of the bloopers. Let's just be honest here. Hey, Dreadhead, real quick, since you're in studio with us, would you say like 90% of the bloopers don't even air? That's just a small fraction. The stuff that has aired is just a small fraction of the bloopers and outtakes. I am on Discord, but I do not use it effectively, but I have signed up for it. Mostly what I'm using is YouTube. And then, of course, the social media channels. Now, you will see, you know, especially on the other side of this pandemic, you'll see a lot of new and different stuff from us here, and you'll see a lot more local content as well. Lamb says, hey, guys, don't forget to like the video. Love how Dustin takes some time to answer questions. Thanks, Lamb, man. I try to do it every single Saturday. I'm going to try with me. Okay, you still with me? I got bumped for a second there. If you can hear me, give me an oh yeah. Give me an oh yeah. There we go. Okay, cool. We're back. All right. I just received 2 phone calls back to back. All right, let me get back on track here. Antonio says we do unscripted promos in ECW. Yeah, but you have an idea of what you want to talk about. When you're on a certain level of television and a certain level of viewership and production quality, those promos have to be more scripted in order to tell a story for viewers at home on television. So that's what I mean. Everything is scripted. Even if I don't tell you exactly word for word what to say, there is something that I want you to put out there. So in a sense, it's scripted. Well, I actually received 2 phone calls, so it wasn't the internet signal or anything. Spellbinder was actually giving me a call, which I want to have Spellbinder on the show. So I missed out on 2 phone calls from the Spellbinder himself to be talking to you guys. Look at that. All right, Wrestling with MMA. We'll see you later, man. Thank you for joining us. Not spams. All right, I'm going to head out of here too if you guys don't have any other questions. Just a quick recap on Monday, Anthony Idol is on the podcast every single day this week. We have another video that's going to be posted right here at CW30 Wrestling on YouTube. Be sure to follow us at CW30 Wrestling. Also, I'm on the radio on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Central. You can go to sports56whbq.com and click Listen Live. I'm on Sports 56 Mornings with Peter and CJ where we talk professional wrestling, man. It's a lot of fun. And this week we'll have even more fun. And then on Thursday, it's Grind City Wrestling. You got to go check that out. We have a lot of fun with the boys. That's grindcitymedia.com/podcast. That's where you can find that. And then next Saturday, it's the PP3 Finals. Ray Rosas versus Anthony Idol. Winner takes the cup. If you haven't seen it, it's the most unique finish that I've ever seen in my entire life. Plus, myself and my Maria are going to have a big announcement. And then immediately after that, the announcement is so big that I know that you guys are going to have a ton of questions and stuff and are going to want to talk to us. So we're going to go live right after next week's show. And if you're watching this late, put any questions that you have for Anthony Idol in the comments. And I hope you all have a safe holiday. Bailey, I am going to call you here momentarily. You be safe, dread ahead. Jake, thank you, brother. Reginald, thank you so much for joining on the chat and the live stream, everybody. Stay safe. I am Dustin Starr, saying so long, everybody.